ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, views and dues, baby. We are in the lab. Look, Germ So True, Mo Schefter, M dropped the J because the fadeaway is perfect. Vic Jr. is in the building. I don't know why everything is off, but hey, we just gonna go on and knock this out. Hey,
There you go.
Scene, we mean, let's do this thing. Mo
Hey,
Schefter,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna
Yes,
pass it
sir.
over there to you.
I'm just
Let's
putting up
just
this
get this,
link. I'm just putting up
fellas.
this link.
Let's
Now,
do
listen.
some quick banter. Quick banter. Now, this is a week of we have a great week of exceptional football games. Great week. Every matchup here, pretty much, is something we can enjoy watching. I think we're all going to rewatch some of these games at least 3 or 4 times this week. We have a lot of even matchups. Even the bad matchups are good matchups. Ain't that something different? So sit back, get your coffee, get your cereal,
Yeah.
whatever it is that you got. If you got eggs and you got your bacon, go ahead and enjoy that as well. If you don't eat bacon because you don't eat pork, just enjoy your potatoes and your onions. Orange juice is appreciated because that's what the drink of champions. Vitamin C. Let's do this, baby.
Hey, Germ, as you can see from what's on my chest, I'm a man of beef. I enjoy a good steak. I enjoy a good
Absolutely.
burger. And I enjoy a good fat guy matchup. And we got a couple good fat guy matchups, and we're gonna dive into those. So just some quick news on something as far as the COVID, just to get it out of the way in 30 seconds. Um, Baker's on the list. That was contract tracers. Stafford was on the list. He's now active. The only issue going on is with Trent Brown, who had to deal with an emergency IV after the game. And the last thing, if it keeps going like this, if it keeps going like this and something happens, the NFL is indeed considering a 16 team playoff, which is already at 14 this year, up from 12. So we'll keep an eye on that. But the most important thing for the NFL and where they have been very fortunate and where they can have their their legs under them and say, hey, our protocols are working. They have had no building to building contamination. It has all been within the buildings of that outbreak. So, hey, we'll see what happens. Let's just dive into these games for now. We got a lot to cover, so let's just dive into it. First game on the docket, we got the Houston Texans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over under in this game is 50. Houston 7-point favorites, even though they're on the road, and that's without Gardner Minshew. So that just tells you how much Vegas really does not like Houston, especially with that awful run defense. I think despite no Gardner Minshew, the Jaguars have a chance to make this game competitive. But in the end of the day, it's going to be Deshaun, it's going to be JJ. They're just going to make one too many plays more than the Jaguars. Give me Houston to win this game. I'll go 30-20 Houston. Vic, let's start off with you. What you got on this?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, bro. At the end of the day, they got the better quarterback. Both teams are obviously, looking outside the playoffs, even though it might be extended. But just give me Houston in this game as well.
Germ?
Houston, y'all got some problems, but it won't be exposed this week. Houston, y'all better win. That's all I'm gonna say. That's the germ, you better of the week. Houston, you better take care of business. MJ, anything on this one?
on this one, I'm looking at my fantasy squirrel right now, and I'm looking at David Johnson. I'm like, dog, you got to give me one. Just give me one. Can I
Hey,
get an 80? Can I get an 80-yard 2 touchdowns just one time? I just need one.
this is the week you should be able to get it.
I need that right now. I need it. That's all I'm saying. So
We'll see.
other than that, of course, I'm going for Houston. I hope they score the first 14 points of the game with one being a touchdown. They just hand the ball off to David for the rest of the game. That's what I want.
Yeah. And they should cover. No doubt about it. They should cover today. They better cover today, at least, as Jerem So True alluded to. Next game,
You better.
better. You got the Carolina Panthers traveling to play the Kansas City Chiefs. For the Chiefs, Mitchell Schwartz is out in this one. That's going to be a pretty significant loss in this game. And on the flip side, on the beef for the Panthers, Russell Okung is doubtful. So you got two tackles that might not play in this game. We'll see how that affects the game. It's certainly going to be very interesting. I believe Chris Jones is inactive for this game. because he's on the COVID-19 reserve list because of contract tracing. So that's going to be also impactful as well. At the end of the day, though, I see number 15 is starting. Give me the Chiefs about 15, Chief. Vic, what you got?
Yeah, I mean the Panthers again, a young team. They got a pretty impressive secondary. Jeremy Chin right now is questionable, but that's a very good future, pro. One of Jerem's favorite guys in this draft. But again, they going against Pat Mahomes in that offense, man. Of course, we got to go with the Chiefs here, probably by like 14.
Jeremy, what you got? Are you looking up that Chris Jones?
Well, yeah, I'm trying to see if I.
While you do that, let's jump to MJ because I know he's got a couple of things he wants to talk about from the gambling and from the fantasy perspective on this game.
Like I said, if y'all haven't been tuning in to me, what I've been saying, man, I treat this like a stock. I invest in a healthy company, and Kansas City is a very healthy company. No knock on Carolina. I think they've been playing good ball with the hand that they've been dealt with. And McCaffrey is coming back, so that could change us a few things. But I think they covered as 10, and I also think you guys should play Edwards-Helaire.
Which is interesting because Le'Veon hasn't yet gotten to that point where he's carrying the majority of the snaps. Quite the contrary, actually. Helaire is still getting most of the snaps in this offense. So
right.
we'll see until you start to see a game where Bella's in there and Bella is the lead guy and they're going with him on first down, second down, and leaving him in there for third down as well.
I mean, what's scary, what's scaring me is the thought of them using Edwards-Helaire and Le'Veon Bell the way Cleveland is using Chubb and Hunt. That's a scary thought because Le'Veon Bell runs routes like wide receivers.
He does.
Yeah.
He most definitely does.
Right. That's ultimately why he's getting a little bit more snaps the last couple games is his pass blocking plus his pass catching ability.
Chris Jones is active.
Okay, good. Okay.
It says here 2 days ago he set to practice. 3 days ago it says he set to play week 9.
Okay. Sammy Watkins is out. As I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's listed he's also listed.
Whatever. Just plug another one in.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's listed as it's with a hamstring, which is a soft tissue injury. So that's something that he's been having. He's been having struggles with that throughout his career for the most part. So I don't expect him to play in this one. But give me Kansas City as well. I don't see any reason why they don't win by at least 10 and cover the spread. At the end of the day, the 52 they got close to 52 with the Jets. The Panthers should at least be able to score 14 points.
Yeah. What was it? 35-9, I think. So they did their part, but obviously the Spirit Airlines.
Give me 35-20 just so we can have give me 35-20 so we can have 55 points. There you go.
Yeah. MJ, that Spirit Airlines, dog, that's your fault. That's gonna stick now.
Hey, that's what they are.
That's gonna stick now. I don't know how we managed to talk about the god awful Jets on their week off.
Oh,
hey, it's been that kind of week.
How about Trevor? How about the quarterback for Clemson is like me? He refused to fly Spirit to the point where he's ready to go back to college another year. That's how bad he's not flying Spirit. He's like me.
Yeah, man is willing to play football one more year for free rather than go get paid millions and play for the Jets. Let that sink in.
The problem is, it's not like 2021 is going to be. I mean, 2022 ain't going to be any different.
Well, you never know.
So either way, he's gonna have to come in.
Well, you never know. You never know. You never
see.
know.
No. That's not a you never know.
That man gonna
That's
be a
listen. Let me tell you something. The football guys don't like certain things, and you gonna do that, and you gonna end up just like Phillip Rivers in your career, cursed.
Well, we'll get to him.
That's a whole different subject, right?
Yes.
Now.
Name on the docket.
Sorry.
Yeah. We got the Denver Broncos versus the Atlanta Falcons. And this is a game, fellas, we talked about, like, it could be a good game, but there's really not much to say on this game. Denver last week, they had that very nice comeback against the Chargers, but Jerm just talked about the football gods. You want to talk about a team that's cursed. It is the Los Angeles Chargers. And if they couldn't get over their karma with Drew Brees, they sure as hell not going to get over that karma from Tyrod Taylor. You know what I'm saying? And it's listen, Denver and Atlanta, though, for Denver, they didn't do anything crazy. The only difference was they scored touchdowns in the second half and the Chargers kicked field goals. And for Atlanta, man, Atlanta is just a team trying to survive. What's worrisome for Atlanta is the future. Are they going to stick on the path that's not going to get him anywhere. That's a dead end eventually. You got signs every half a mile, dead end ahead with Matt Ryan. Are they going to stay on that track, or are they going to build a new road and go with somebody else? Because next year, Vic, you talked about these quarterbacks. Coming up. It's trending up. So let's just jump to you. Give me your quick thoughts. I'm rolling with Atlanta in this one. But
yeah, I mean, it's one of those situations where we talked about before. Like you can't just get rid of your quarterback without having a backup plan, right? So right now, I expect Matt Ryan to be there next season, but I also expect them to draft somebody. So there's about 4 to 5 guys in this draft who have come out of nowhere, who were considered later round picks before the season started. Now they're talking first round picks for most of these kids. You got the Alabama kid, you got a BYU kid, we got, of course, Trevor Lawrence and a couple other guys. So it might be time for like the Falcons and the Colts, guys like that can draft, or even the Lions draft some quarterbacks. But for this game specifically, you got AJ Bowie is out for Denver, and you got Bryce Callahan, who is questionable. Those two have been playing real solid for this Denver secondary. Something, at least a little bit of something to be happy about in Denver. So with those two guys, either hurt or out, the Falcons can have another good passing game against Denver today.
Right, Jerm.
Looking at the injuries real quick before I make my final pick. All I'm gonna say is this just feels like one of those games where Denver has just absolutely no reason to even be within 14 points of the Falcons. The Falcons should be able to dominate. This should just be, whatever.
Yeah.
But we know the Falcons, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
We know these guys. We know Georgia. Georgia.
Hey, there it is.
The whole day through. Just an old sweet song.
Hey, that's what Trump saying, right?
That loss. Hey, my hands are up. Hands up.
No,
I don't know.
Political,
I don't know. Joe Biden. Let's go. Give me the Falcons today.
He couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Look,
couldn't do it.
It's November. It's November. I know they struggled at the beginning of the year. This is the time that they have to take that step forward to make things interesting. And they have to play the Bucks 2 times in the last part of these next 8 weeks. So they need to be primed for them to be able to score some points. Give me the Falcons, or the Falcons, as Vic would say today, and give me the Falcons by a score of 31-20.
Calvin Ridley is questionable, by the way.
All right. Yeah.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it. I know.
I'm taking Atlanta too, if you didn't write that down.
No, I wrote that down. Don't you worry. I got it. I wrote that down. Next game.
Oh, this is so hard.
Yeah. These games are tough. These games are really
I feel like
tough.
Big Pun. It's so hard.
A lot of these games, y'all, and we're gonna get into it. A lot of these games, there's a lot of repetitive things that we can say because the matchups are so even, and we, as we always say, styles make fights, right, Germ?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of fights, there's a lot of styles, and it's gonna be some good games. It's just they're gonna be hard to pick. That's just the reality, because as we can see, can nobody predict a damn thing in this world. Next game on the docket, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Dallas Cowboys, the Garrett Gilbert-led Dallas Cowboys, the perhaps no Ezekiel Elliott Dallas Cowboys. Listen, this is really simple for me. Pittsburgh is favored by 2 touchdowns. Pittsburgh's going to win by 3.5 touchdowns. Give me Pittsburgh 41-10. Germ?
I want to fly away. Yeah, yeah. Hey, give me. Hey, man, yes, I went Lenny Kravitz on y'all. Because look, if you a Dallas fan, you want to get away. You got to get away. Rock on. No, but seriously, though, Pittsburgh, just take care of business. Vic, put your hands together for me. Please. We just pray that nobody gets hurt. We want no injuries. Make it out the game safe. Give me Pittsburgh by 40.
Oh man. Vic Bryant, what you got on this?
Yo. Anyway, we'll get to that part. Listen, the Cowboys
Yo.
have set up some of the worst quarterback names in roster history, I think. Andy Dalton, Garrett Gilbert, and whoever that kid's name was last week. I can't even pronounce it.
Ben DiNucci.
Bro, sound like a bunch
They're
of
poopy.
I don't know, pasta makers or something in this team. But let's bro, healthy. That's all I ask for. Steelers come out of this game healthy. Cowboys come out of this game healthy too, for both sides.
Man
But
said pasta makers. Hey, we talking rigatoni, penny, Alfredo. What exactly are we talking about?
it's just all the shells, bro. All
All
the
the
above. But let me get pit two, bro. I mean, this is
What kind of sauce is it?
Vodka.
Hey,
3 cheese.
hey, listen. One thing for sure. Shout out Ranks Jabbin. The sauce ain't free. Let's move on. Next game on the docket. Yeah, there you go. All right.
Hold on. Time out. Let me
Wait.
go ahead and say this to
Oh, my bad. My fault. That's my mistake. Flag on the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Yeah, bro.
Hit on the quarterback.
Hey, you go back.
Roughing the passer.
Ignore me. You see, I already got it. I'm ready for the vibes now. I will head out.
Nah, we want you to get comfortable, bro. We want you to get comfortable.
We definitely taking Pittsburgh. I'm actually saying I'll take the over by a landslide, by just a hair, only because usually quarterbacks that you have no film on, that you don't know about, they could easily sneak 13 to 14 points up, which is all that they're going to need to be able to cover the spread, because I know Pittsburgh will do the rest.
Hey,
and then after that, we get strip fumbles and then the quarterback's falling and getting hit and it's
We need a soundtrack
the
for Jerv.
wonderful time of the year.
I need a Jerv's greatest hits.
Oh,
for real, yo.
hey, we can do that because I got some stuff for y'all.
I
All
know.
right, hey. Looking at the comments, shout out to everybody in the comments. Josh
Yeah,
Storm's in
let's
the
get in
building. Siobhan is in there. Jason is in there. Matt Wallet is in there. Shout out Matt Wallet. It's a friend of mine. Jason Huffman. Oh, I said that already. Trav is in the building. J Ham in the building. KG in the building. He says Bryce is actually playing and Shelby Harris is out.
Yeah, Shelby is out because Shelby
Yeah.
was on that list too.
Trav saying, agreeing with Vic, that it's time for those quarterbacks in Atlanta, Indy, and Detroit to be replaced, which is a shame because what's her name? Indy had a quarterback for the future, and they just said, we'll take a quarterback for the next 2 years who's already washed up. Whatever. We'll
slow down the kid's progression. If he has it.
Indeed. All right, let's jump into this next one now. We're gonna go with Jerm. Let's start with you on these 4-minute offense games, because you got a game that you eagerly want to talk about. And you got Tua versus Kyler.
Take him all over.
Versus Kyler.
That's it. Like,
and my jukebox got stuck.
hit him in the back. The battery fell out.
But let's jump into it. You got Miami versus Arizona in this one. Over-under is 49. Miami's getting 4.5 points. We saw last week, shout out Brian Flores. He's more than proved himself. I'm going to start saying it every week because people still ain't getting the message. They scored in all 3 phases, and that is honestly just a tribute to that coaching staff. Jerm?
Shouts out to nephew Mason in the comments with Storms.
Yo.
Hey, nephew, let Unc be great. Just let Unc be great. Make Uncle Germ great again. Now watch this. That bag. Now that we've got our bag open, what I'm looking forward to in this game the most is the Dolphins' underrated front 7 versus the front of the Arizona Cardinals. If you can stop them and be able to get some pressure on the road runner, you're going to have some very, very good things happen. Now, the key player here, Jerome Baker, Ohio State Buckeye. For all my Ohio State Buckeyes in the comments, just slow your roll because I'm talking about it for 1 second. That player is very, very vital to their success today because he has the ability to do everything on the football field, from spy on the quarterback to drop into zones to cover in tight ends to mirror in running backs. He is their best linebacker. He is the best linebacker that has came out of Ohio State. Chris Spielman, James Laurinaitis, whoever you want to name, put him up against them. It's no competition. I just want y'all to know that is going to be the key matchup today because in the secondary, I feel like with Xavier Howard, Byron Jones, and my guy Noah from Auburn, who I do not want to butcher his name because y'all know I can't pronounce any of these exotic names.
For real.
I really believe wholeheartedly that trio will be able to stop and really get into DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, and Larry Fitzgerald. That doesn't mean stop. I don't want to say stop because that's the wrong word to say, but I think they can make it hard for him.
Sure.
No deep passes. No deep passes. I don't want to see any 60, 70-yard passes today. This is a no-fly zone. No-fly zone. I don't care if we're in Glendale or not. No-fly zone. Everything is going to be earned. Make Kyler Murray be patient, and you're going to have a chance. Next, Tua. Bro, you didn't look good last week. We're just going to call it what it is. I seen a couple of those float on, and I didn't like it. It was not good. You're looking like Float Junior. It ain't good. I want you to get your timing together, get those feet intact in the pocket. But most importantly, what I need to see now is we see that the Miami offense is about 2 or 3 steps away from being where they're going to be if they had to stay with Fitzmagic, especially because they're missing another playmaker on the outside. It's evident every week. Preston Williams is cool for now, but you're going to need another guy coming up here soon. Mm-hmm. With that being said, predictions. I'm going to be honest with you. As much as I want to pick Miami, I don't think they can score enough points because I don't think Tua is the quarterback that is going to be able to put the pressure on this Cardinals defense. And as long as we have the ability to get pressure on him, it's going to be a long afternoon. So no special teams touchdowns, no defensive touchdowns, and this team should win. Give me the Cardinals 27-14.
27-14. What's the over-under on this one? 49. Okay, so you taking the under. All
right.
Vic, jump in this.
Listen, there's a lot to say about this game, bro. I like everything you just said. That I don't know if Brian Flores, Mo, if you could confirm this for me, was a secondary coach, but this secondary is playing outstanding. They're maximizing Byron Jones' skill set more than the Cowboys ever did. Okay, and he had a great game the last time he saw DeAndre Hopkins. So I expect a real good fight between those two there. Like you said about Tua, it wasn't good, but this Miami defense is exciting. And so I can gain some ground in these games with you and Germ. When Mo and Germ, I'm going to pick Miami for this game. I'm going with Miami.
I didn't make my pick yet, though.
Oh, okay. My bad.
So you making these assumptions.
I need to catch up with Germ. Well, I need to catch up to both of y'all. So
you do. But don't give any spoilers away because we don't want to let people know exactly what the score is because we're gonna have somebody vote on who they think is gonna win, and then there's gonna be a raffle. So look out for that poll later this week. We got a competition going about who can pick the most accurate games. You're gonna vote for who you think is gonna win. It's pretty tight. It is the best race of the year so far. I tell you that much. Anyway.
And nobody got to be divided. Go figure, man.
What a concept. Anyways, let's jump into this. You guys broke it down in so many ways, and this is really a flip 'em game. And Vic talked about the secondary. Germ talked about points. At the end of the day, the only count that matters is the scoreboard. Unless they have a repeat of what they did last week, where they're scoring in all 3 phases, where their offense, where their defense and their special teams is also setting up their offense within scoring position. Unless they have that type of game for 4 quarters, it's hard to see this team putting up enough points to beat Arizona by a slim margin. I am taking Miami to cover. Give me Arizona 23-19, and Miami wins with that 4.5 in Vegas. Unless MJ has any objections to what I just said there.
I have no objections to anything that you guys said, but I do want to just add the fact that watching Kyler Murray is like watching a toddler when they first walk and you've never been a parent. It's exciting, it's scary, you worry for their safety, but you're happy that they figured out where the plug socket is. You hope they don't put something silver in there, and it's just what it is. So I like watching the dude, but
you talking about the other Oklahoma quarterback? That other guy,
the one that they don't talk about.
Yeah.
They need to though.
All right, let's move on to the next game. We got I'll take this game. You got the Raiders versus the Chargers. 52.5 is the over-under. Vegas said, hey, ain't no points. You pick them, Chief. Whoever wins, wins. And that's just how I saw it even up to this morning. It's still a pick 'em game. This game is very interesting, all right, because as we said, the Chargers last week, they blew it because they didn't score a single touchdown in the second half. And Justin Herbert is a baller. Justin Herbert is fantastic. Justin Herbert is the future, but he's still missing throws. He's still not making certain throws here and there. And then at the end of the day, I just don't know how much I want to rely on this running game for the Chargers. It's really hard to rely on them. And then this on the flip side, on the defensive side, look, Denver didn't do anything extra special. I keep saying this. Chargers just missed tackles, took horrible angles, had bad coverage, miscommunication, and all kind of things just not go wrong. It was so much of just the Chargers playing bad football more so than the Broncos play good football. The Broncos don't play bad football. It's just who they are right now. There's only but so much good they can play. I love Vic Fangio, but I think he is strictly a defensive coordinator. And that's where he needs to go back to, being in that position and letting his brain be the mastermind of a defense only. Because as a mastermind of a football team, there's just such a low ceiling, especially when you don't have an elite quarterback, you don't have an elite offensive line, you got injuries, you got guys in and out of the lineup. It just makes it so tough. For Vegas, man, look, I love this team. And with that 7th seed, it might even be an 8th seed now, but I think we can fully expect the Raiders to be at the end pushing for one of these final playoff spots, and I would hope to see them in there. And I would hope to see them in there under certain circumstances. 1, their defense be fully healthy. 2, their offensive line be fully healthy. And 3, you got Josh Jacobs and Henry Ruggs taking the field for about 98.3% of your offensive snaps. When those two guys are on the field, this offense is as at its peak dynamicness. I don't even know if that's a word, but damn it, Webster, add the dictionary.
Put it in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Put it in there. Vegas, what I need to see from Vegas, they got to put together a string of good games. They beat Cleveland last week 16-6. They beat Kansas City like 35-29. So you can see they can win games in various ways. And that's always one of the foundations of a good football team. So Vegas is becoming a good football team. They just got to show us if they can become it. And I think with Josh Jacobs today and with that offensive line being almost at 100%, they should control the line of scrimmage. They should control this game. And in the end, just edge out a win. Give me the Raiders 35-30 to win this game. Vic, jump in this.
What was that other word you created? Logistically? They need to throw that in there too.
Yes. Yes.
That's a great one. Joey Bosa looks like he might be out for this game. Outstanding pass rusher for the Chargers. Also stops the run very well. That should help the Raiders run game get going. Like you said, the Chargers are struggling still somewhat. Herbert, as great as he is, still needs some time to improve. So, I mean, we expect the Raiders to win this game. This is a game that they need to win to show, again, in this league that they're getting better and that they're going for a playoff run. I'm going to go with Vegas in this one.
Well, their 2 biggest games of the season, you can argue, is the Cleveland games and the Chief game, in which they would pull off both of those games. They scored 40 to beat the Chiefs, and they held the Browns to 6. Mm-hmm. So that's a very, very interesting dynamic there, considering that part of that's on Cleveland, the other part is Kansas City. Then Kansas City not playing 60 minutes. 60 minutes is the key. What if I said that the Raiders are one of the 5 or 6 teams in the NFL that play 60 minutes?
Absolutely.
With that being said, that always gives them an opportunity to win a game. So guess what? The Chargers are not the 60-minute football team. Mm-hmm. So guess what I'm going to pick? The 60-minute football team.
Yeah.
Give me the Raiders 30, Chargers 20.
Yeah. And you see, this is one of those matchups that, again, there's different styles, different clashes, but in the end, it just comes down to a few basic things. And it's not necessarily X's and O's, but more so the culture and the makeup of a football team. So just a reminder, as we slowly change everyone's narratives, culture is greater than talent. Mr. Hollow Man, what you got on this game?
You've been reading the comments.
Yes, sir.
So, way I look at it, first off, this is the first time that I've seen a team get just a pick 'em in 2 weeks straight, which is the Chargers. I made the mistake and picked them last week. I just knew that they were the shoe-in to beat the Denver. I will not make that mistake this week. First and foremost, because of all the reasons you said, Las Vegas is just a better football team. With that, I also will say, double down on Josh Jacobs if you can. If you got a flex position and you're struggling during the bye week season, Henry Ruggs is not a bad option. I also like Mike Williams in this one, and I like Keenan Allen. I think Herbert gets them the ball, but when it's all said and done, I think Vegas take care of business.
All right. Next game on the docket, Vic. This is your game. One of those fat guy matchups. You got the New York Football Giants versus FC Washington. What you got on this one? I think my bad. Over under is 43, and the Giants only getting 2.5 points favorites.
Listen, this is a game where it's basically these outstanding defensive lines versus some very inconsistent, not so good offensive lines. I expect a lot of sacks in this game. I'm thinking +8 on that. So if there's like a bet out there, I don't know, y'all, this is what y'all into, +8 sacks for this game. Again, 22 sacks by the Redskins. They're 6th in the league. And the Giants, 20 sacks. They're 7th in the league. So, then you got a situation with Daniel Jones. Are you going to be the future of the New York Football Giants? You need to start picking it up. He's got 7 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Turnovers have been a thing since he started. So I'm going to go with the Redskins here. I think they just have the better football team. And I think that the pass rush, even though that Giants offensive line did look good against the Bucs last week, I'm going to still go with the Redskins on this one.
First of all, FC Washington. You said.
My bad.
Yeah, anyway.
Jesus.
Secondly, the Giants won that game 20-19, if I remember correctly. Last time they played each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, look, I hate this game. Okay, like, I really do, because I'm not gonna watch it. I'm probably just gonna get in the lab around Tuesday night, put on a few plays, see what Chase Young did, see what those Alabama boys did, see how Will Hernandez is playing, see how Andrew Thomas is continuing to get better and better each week, because he did not look like a top 5 pick his first few weeks in the league. But that's expected. That's nothing to panic about, even though Joe Judge judged or misjudged rather by benching him. I'd hate picking the Giants to win football games. I really do, because this is a terrible football team with terrible coaching, terrible spacing, terrible philosophy, terrible every damn thing. All right. But at the end of the day, do I want to take Daniel Jones or do I want to take Kyle Allen? I don't know. That's like asking me to pick between blueberry and sugar-free. I hate both. Give me blueberry. Give me Daniel Jones. Germ?
What?
Which one's the punch in the face?
You
And which one's
abandoned me.
Exactly, MJ. Exactly.
Love
MJ.
don't live here anymore.
That's track 7 right there.
Don't stop. Don't stop.
I don't have any. This is so. You know why this is the hardest game to pick for me this week. The second hardest game. The reason why is because both of them slaw. It just don't make no difference.
Bruh.
Like, I don't really care.
Bruh.
Who cares?
I don't care.
Like, who cares? Like, if Washington wins the game, who cares? You still suck.
Yes.
Hey,
Who you
look,
taking?
the guru is not
Make a
happy
pick.
with none of y'all right now.
I'm
not.
Give me, man. It's so.
He's not happy right now. I wouldn't be.
Hey, Germ, your boy
Y'all
Montez Sweat.
Y'all shredded the Giants. Y'all shredded them.
Germ.
All right.
Montez Sweat is having an outstanding season.
And so is Chase Young.
Yeah.
But what is that gonna mean if they're gonna let Daniel Jones do a bootleg and go 80 yards
And fall.
Yeah.
Bruh,
Hey, I swear.
give me a tie.
I thought he pushed the wrong button. I'm like, hey, don't push the dive button.
Bro,
Don't push that
like I said, his head was moving faster than his body can handle.
Okay, all right. So look, Jorge, as much trouble as you give me during the week, every single week, I should pick against the Giants in the most disrespectful manner. And you know what? Since you in the comments saying you hate us, give me FC Washington. I hope they soccer kick y'all ass. I hope it gets emotional. I hope they score 40 points on y'all. Give me FC Washington. Hey man, I wish I had a soccer ball. I'll start kicking it in the air right now. Give me FC Washington. Let's go.
All right. Again, it's just one of those games, man, where it's like, why? Why is this on my TV?
Hey, Mo,
But it's the sad part is it's gonna be a good game because they both equally as slow.
Yeah, isn't that the Tanya Rogers philosophy? Two bad teams must make a good game.
Oh, that's math. Two negatives equal a positive.
Hey, she. I'm gonna tell you something. She be onto some things sometime. I'll be trying to listen sometimes.
Let me find out the NFL is math. Find out.
Yo, Mo, real quick.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Jake.
I guess Big Shot changed his name because I thought we had a new guy on here.
No, that's Big Shot, bro. That's Big Shot.
Yeah, somebody, Matt Wallet. Want to shout out to him?
Yeah, I already did that.
Okay. But yeah, no, that was funny. Because I didn't know this was Big Shot, but he said Garrett Gilbert sounds like the store manager at your local T-Mobile.
Well, hey.
You know what I mean? Hey, that's why we need.
Hey man, this charger don't work.
Speaking of, all right. Speaking of, I gotta get this off my chest for the national public. Okay, I went to one of a major mobile carrier here, and I had to buy 2 screen protectors. Okay, one for the tablet, one for the phone. I go purchase them. Boom, boom. He says, "Hey, we're doing a special right now. You buy 2 things, you get 1 item free." I'm like, we talking Beats or we talking charges? Like, what's this? You said free. Don't tell me free.
Right.
You said it's got to be cheaper than whatever I bought, right? So obviously the tablet charger is whatever, the screen protector is like $50, $60. He goes and we're giving away this fast charging wireless pad. All right, so it's one of those things, put it on, put your phone on it, it charges your phone. And it's got a whole chart on the back of the box of how it compares to wired chargers and how it's supposed to be 30% faster, whatever, okay? I come home, my phone's at 15%. It's 2:15 p.m. Eastern, and it's at 15%. I'm not even making this up. I plug it in, boom, boom. Come to realize this thing ain't even wireless. That's the first damn problem, okay?
It's wire full.
It's wire full. So I'm like, so basically, you just giving me what's it called? What's that thing you put?
They gave you a phone jack.
No, what's that thing you put is so you don't get the table wet if you got a cold drink, a coaster?
Yeah,
They gave me a phone coaster basically that lights up from the bottom. That's all they gave me.
You still got to plug it in.
Anyways, right?
Phones, you got to plug in. You got the squiggly cord. They need the squiggly cord.
Yo.
And I had to take off my phone case to get it to charge. Anyways, I come back 45 minutes later, okay? And this thing jumped from 15% to 22%.
Oh.
I know it's free, but I want a free fund, okay? Because this is some BS. I'd have taken a charger for regular wall charger, a phone case, anything. I'd have taken a fidget spinner over useless.
I mean, normally when you get
to my Yelp review.
Normally what happens by then is you normally have a full charge. So I just want you to understand. Yeah. Just go wire, no wireless. That's all.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's move on. Because good Lord, we off the tracks. Let's get through these main events. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 main events, and we got about 18 minutes to get through them. Let's get through it, fellas. First one on the docket of these main events: the Seattle Seahawks versus the Buffalo Bills. MJ, what is
Rotel special?
Woo!
Mm-hmm.
Get some brisket. I need the grits.
Everything.
I need all of it.
because this game is gonna be 60 minutes of let me hit you in your mouth. Okay, your turn. That's what this game is gonna be. Jamal Adams is back, and of course, there is no way Jamal Adams was gonna miss the opportunity to hit Josh Allen just one more time. I think in this game, fellas, you know how I feel. I think Russell Wilson is the real deal. I think eventually Josh Allen will be exposed to the folks who don't know him. And that's just how I feel about it. And this is one of those games that Josh Allen cannot win. Yes, right, Germ. I want your full attention on this one. This is one of those games that Joshua Lamar Allen cannot win. Give me the best, as they say, in the world. Give me Mr. 1-2 step and the Seattle Seahawks to win this game. I think where they have the edge is a few things. One, I think Russell Wilson, which we'll talk about in a little bit, I think Russell Wilson is going to have more time than people anticipate in this game. And I think Seattle is going to have more success in the run game than people anticipate in this game. On the flip side, I think this defense with Carlos Dunlap now, where they ain't have to blitz more than Pete Carroll has ever blitzed in his 75 years of life. This defense is going to come back a little more to its true identity, with Jamal Williams truly being the centerpiece of this defense. Give me Seattle to win this game 24-20. Go ahead, Jerm.
Vic, you could go next. I'll go last.
Listen, you got both Chris Carson and Carlos Hyde is out for this game. You got Mike Iupati, the guard, out for this. Is all three guys for Seattle. This one is tough for me. I still believe in Josh Allen. I do. Y'all know that how I feel about Russell Wilson, best quarterback in the league, but they're traveling to Buffalo. I'm going to take Buffalo in this game. I'm going to go against my guy for just 1 week, and I'm going to go with Buffalo in this game.
And look, the West Coast, East Coast thing is real.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rolling with Seattle. Term, floor is yours, sir.
It's just one of those games.
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta let's just start at the top. The quarterback matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them, have their times where they're wildly inconsistent. Sometimes during the game. Vic, don't squint your eyes because you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Tell me more.
Normally, I will. Normally, if you're quiet by then, I'll be finished. But and with that being said, I just want you to understand that the big key here in this matchup is Mo alluded to it, and it's pressure. If you don't get pressure, it's gonna be ugly because I don't care who you got in the secondary. They got a dude named Tyler Lockett who he looking like a thriller. That's what it's like covering him. And it's literally that music behind him when he's on the move. And not only does he have some of the best feet we've ever seen, but he got he has the audacity to be fast too.
Yeah.
And the audacity to be one of the best ball trackers in football. Oh my goodness. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Then DK Metcalf, hey, look, if he clean up the drops, that combination is the most lethal thing we've probably seen in a long time since Tom Brady and AB, which we'll get to that later. I just want y'all to know, DK and Tyler, that's a lot to deal with on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
That's a balanced breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Seattle.
Wow.
I can't even go against them.
Hold on. But hold on. You just said how inconsistent Russ is. And you
I said inconsistent.
Balanced breakfast. No, this is a balanced breakfast. You just said. You said the receivers. You need to add the quarterback because he's throwing the football to them. He has to.
They get open. They get open.
He has to step back and he has to throw it.
Guess what? I seen Tyler Lockett do?
You're disrespectful.
Making adjustments. Guess what I seen DK Metcalf do? Run after the catch. Guess what I see these other receivers do? I see these receivers catching passes and making plays too. I don't have to speak on Russ.
You already gave breakfast then.
All right,
it's not. You just have two turkey patties. You just have two turkey patties. That's all you're talking about. With the eggs, with a French toast, where that at?
Hey, check this out. Hey, Vic. You don't like my commentary? Bite in.
Yo, hey.
Yo, and then Leon Jones said, Josh Allen is just an upgraded Jay Cutler. The
Leon Jones or Leon Williams?
Oh,
Leon
Leon Williams. Yeah,
Yeah,
Leon Williams. My bad.
yeah. I was like, whoa, Leon's watching because Leon ain't watched football in like 4 years. I know.
Hey, in the comments, tell me what you eating for that game, man. We gotta compare. I might go.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously not a balanced breakfast because it ain't balanced
I got
according to Germ.
Listen, I got a homemade pizza that I'm going to throw in the oven for this one.
Nice.
And it's a pretty large one. So I got 4 slices for this game, 4 slices for the Sunday night game, which we'll get to. The next game on the docket, and this game, ooh, this one is fun. This one is fun. This one is fun. You got the Baltimore Colts versus the Indianapolis Colts. Yeah, I said it. I'm just playing. You got the Baltimore Ravens versus the Indianapolis Colts. A little former squad to former squad rivalry going on there. Over under is 47.5. Baltimore only getting 1 point. I mean, yeah, Baltimore's only a 1 point favorite. Fellas, we talked about this game. Jerm, take it away.
2 things. Zone principles, Lamar Jackson being who he is. This is what I want to see. Indianapolis, it's 2 ways you win this game. No touchdowns, all field goals. When you spread them out, when you spread the Ravens out, Mo, can you do me one favor? Can you see if that COVID list went through and if Patrick Queen is playing, Malik Harrison? I know my guy Marlon Humphrey is probably out for COVID. If all of those linebackers is out, it's gonna get real disrespectful. It's gonna get awfully disrespectful. But when this team likes to spread people out, they have the unique ability to be able to use Hines and their running backs to run seam routes. And when they do that, they're running past linebackers and they're getting one-on-one matchups and they're exploiting them. That's something that Baltimore does not see a lot that I think could be a difference and a very, very key thing in this game. The next thing is the line of scrimmage. Now, listen, DeForest Buckner has played probably top 2 in the NFL this year on a defensive line. I will advocate for him that well. He is probably one of the most disruptive forces on the defensive line in football this year. But with that being said, I need to see how the Ravens are going to block him. Orlando Brown is going to be the left tackle for this foreseeable future for the rest of this year because Stanley is out. We are in a situation now where Baltimore has another tackle who is going to be able to self-sufficiently hold his own on the left side of this formation. And that is going to raise another question later, which we'll get into as the offseason comes up. But with that being said, I'm picking the Colts today. 2 reasons. Zones, Lamar Jackson's, and throwing outside the numbers. Throwing outside the numbers is how you're going to have to be able to beat this team. And it's going to have to be with moving defenders with your eyes. That's not something he's good at yet. And the Colts do a hell of a job really congesting the middle of the field. Give me the Indianapolis Colts 28-21.
All right. Listen, I think in this game, like you talked about a few things. Vic, I'm gonna let you jump in because I got a few things I want to say, but I'm gonna let you jump in.
Yeah, no, real quick, of course, I got to give my guy, number 88, Desmond Bryant, shout out to at least making the active roster. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations to him. 3 years without playing football, coming from that tragedy that is the Dallas Cowboys, injuries. At least he made the roster. Unfortunately, the quarterback, we'll see what happens there. But like Jerm said, man, and here we go with Big Shot, perfect name. He said Philip with Lamar Slander Palooza or Palooza.
Palooza.
However y'all say that.
We see where your mind is at today.
But I mean, basically, like Jerm said, we got that fast Colts defense. Last week they went against a really fast Steelers defense, but you can argue that the Colts linebackers are a little bit faster. The defensive line is very impressive for the way they're able to create their pressure. It's not from an initial pass rush. It's not from a 4 down lineman. They're able to blitz very well using 5 to 6 players. I expect the Colts to win this game too. Man.
Wow.
I like the Colts in this game.
So all the linebackers will be there today. Unfortunately, Stanley, as Jerm said, he's out for the year, and then Marlon Humphrey, he tested positive for COVID-19, and he's not going to be playing in this game. Look, this game, I mean, the guys covered it up really well, but this game is one of those matchup games, man. And Indianapolis is a team used to controlling the line of scrimmage. Baltimore is a team that's used to controlling the line of scrimmage. So it's like, what do you get when you get an unstoppable force versus an immovable object? That's what you got in this game. And it's going to be, again, 60 minutes of I'm going to hit you, you're going to hit me. Only thing is, Baltimore got more hitters. And that's just the bottom line to it in this one. And I think another thing that's going to be very interesting to see is two things. Number one, the Colts play very fundamentally sound defense. Like they communicate well. It's a relatively simple scheme. They choose strategically when exactly they want to blitz. But it's something you see over and over when you watch this Colts defensive film is two things. Number one, there's room in the middle of the field to make throws constantly. Number two, they constantly are giving quarterbacks lanes to come out of. And this is what MJ, you talked about in the pre-production meeting. And this is why I said, hey, are you watching my notes? Because they constantly give quarterbacks lanes to get into. And this might be one of those games where Lamar finally breaks off for like 150 yards rushing. So give me Baltimore to win this game. I'm going Baltimore. Man, this is tough. I'll say 26.
That's fast linebackers, bro. Them linebackers.
Hey,
That's gonna be.
I understand, but also you got to understand because those linebackers they rely on them heavily to be in coverage, so they're gonna be a good 8 to 10 to 12 yards away from the line of scrimmage. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be passing lanes. It's gonna be plays that break down. It's not gonna look pretty, and at the end of the day, what's gonna come down to is I can just see it now. Phillip Rivers throwing a pick six. The Ravens win by a field goal. And then tomorrow night, I got to hear Jerm say, if Phillip Rivers didn't throw a pick six, the Ravens should have lost that game. That's what is going to happen.
Look at his name, Mo. Look at his
MJ,
name.
what's his name? What's his name? Mo sounding like a
Jabroni.
jabroni. How you going to use the Iron Sheik against me?
You know what's funny about this game?
What's
funny about this game is I think both quarterbacks get what they need, even though both teams have a really good defense. Both quarterbacks are kind of comfortable with the defenses that it presents. If you notice with Phillip Rivers, if you go back, even back in the Charger days, he threw a lot to his tight end, and he always had a running back that could win the matchup, whether it was LaDainian Tomlinson or Darian Sproles. Mm-hmm. Now he has Nyheim Hines, and he has two tight ends that he could be able to find. And I think Nyheim Hines can actually win those matchups on the outside against those linebackers. So if we look at the Colts, like Mo just pointed out and mentioned, the Colts usually run cover two. I mean, they do a good job of blitzing out of that. But if you don't get immediate time and confuse Lamar Jackson and you give him a lane to run out of, we already know what he's going to do. If he has any option, he's going to run first. That's just what it is. The problem that he's been struggling with this season is the NFL, they are on full scholarship too.
Yes.
They looked at that and said, nah, you ain't doing that. You're going to beat us with an arm. But with Indianapolis, it's like just with their scheme, they're going to, of course, try to force them on the outside. But if you're giving lanes, you're not really forcing them on the outside. You're giving them an option. So it's definitely going to be a game in which the quarterbacks are going to look better than they are because they got the matchups that they want.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Again,
you've
been in the lab, bro. You've been in the just tell you've been in the lab.
Run, Lamar, run.
That's what you're gonna have to do.
Yo. So next game on the docket is we got the Chicago Bears versus the Tennessee Titans game. Another matchup that's just gonna be physical. It's gonna be a grind you out, and it's gonna be which team can F up less. That's what it's gonna come down to. Tennessee is a very good football team. What's keeping Tennessee from being a great football team is they shoot themselves in the foot way too often. And when it happens against really good teams, they're going to lose the game. That's just how it is. We saw that against Pittsburgh, and that's something that I'm going to keep bringing up because they shot themselves in the foot against the Bengals. So this game here, as for Chicago, Nick Foles, man, look, he's an anomaly. Okay, like he played 7 great quarters, and that's really all it comes down to. That's who he is. We know who Nick Foles is, and he's just not somebody that you can rely on Sunday to Sunday to Sunday to Sunday. I know the Tennessee Titans run defense is ranked bottom of the league, but hey, so is Chicago's run offense. And this is one of those things where Tennessee's weakness is not as bad as Chicago's weakness when it comes to that matchup. right? On the flip side of it, Chicago's defense is coming along. They're coming along. And Chuck Pagano is getting this team to play up to their level because he hasn't been very impressive. And I think if the Bears don't end up winning more than 7 to 8 games, you got to get an entirely different coaching staff. I'm going with the Titans in this game, and I'm going them for this reason. We said this over the summer, right? Stop hiring guys that can draw up plays on a chalkboard and hire football coaches. The Tennessee Titans hired a football coach. The Chicago Bears hired a guy who can draw up plays and a guy who is just the treat. Bro, his play calling is horrible. His leadership ability, it ain't there. His ability to just control the locker room, you could just tell he doesn't have that energy to him. And it's because he's always sounding so unsure in front of the media, being this very defensive guy. I just don't like it. I don't like anything in Chicago outside of that defense that is honestly being wasted right now. And that's 3 years where this defense has been together and it's being wasted.
Quick question.
Save Chicago football. Go ahead, bro.
No, just quick question. I'm swinging to Germ. When's the trade deadline? Because why can't they get Fitzpatrick on that team?
Oh, it already passed.
Oh, well.
Trade deadline already passed.
I would have loved to see Fitzpatrick on with a defense.
Yeah, I think that Fitzpatrick was like people called for Fitzpatrick, but the Dolphins are not going to do that, because
of course,
in case something happens to Tua again, the quarterback position is something it's too delicate to have too many moving pieces. You know what I mean? So if something happens to Tua, they're gonna have to rely on Fitz. So,
yes.
But you want to go ahead, Germ?
Go ahead, Germ. I'm sorry. Something happened.
Some things are simple.
Real quick. Why? Because I know everybody's wondering why did I get so distracted. It's kind of like sad news. Alex Trebek has passed away.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of. It was like, wait, really? Anyways, rest in peace.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I apologize, but I know, I'm sure people wondering why the hell is Mo so distracted. That's why. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Okay. Just to make this simple, and we get to the next game, and get to Vic here. I just think the Titans have more horses here. Mm-hmm. You got Corey Davis, you got AJ Brown, you got Jonnu Smith, and you got Derrick Henry. I think also with the other two running backs, Nichols and Foreman, I think the power running game should be in full effect. I think they can move some people. And that's one thing that's consistent about this particular team. This particular Titans team, no matter who it is, they find a way to move you. Give me the Titans.
If Mac and Derrick Henry get caught on the sideline on a toss play, heads up, who you got?
Henry.
Wait. We talking outside of the C gap or inside of the C gap?
You give me both.
He said a toss. I'm thinking sideline. Who's
sideline toss? Mac wins his matchup against the block. Derrick Henry got running room. Head-on collision. Who gets it?
Head-on collision. I'm taking Khalil Mack.
Ooh.
I'm taking Khalil Mack.
I don't think he tackles many people that are normally his size. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that to his face. So give me.
I say it to his face. I mean, what's the worst he can do?
Sorry, Vic. Go ahead. Get
it. Yeah, we're good.
No, listen, I don't know. Somehow Mitch Trubisky made it on the injury report as out. Unless I missed something, I don't know how that happened.
He did. He had one play. You know what, Vic? God bless you. He had one play last week, and they ran him in a wildcat, just a straight-up quarterback dive. That tells you everything you need to know about what's going to happen to Mitch Trubisky coming this offseason. The value that they had him in, his value is completely gone to that franchise. If you want to bring him in for one play just to run a quarterback dive from the shotgun, now he's out for a few weeks with an injured shoulder. Go ahead, Vic. I'm sorry.
So now we're talking about the Eagles situation. Anyway, never mind. Listen, you broke it down perfectly. Coaching right now, they're going to be out-coached. At first, it was a tough game for me to pick two, but they're going to be out-coached. Like Germ said, there's too many weapons on a very good Titans offense, something that we're not used to in the past. Again, the Bears just cannot run the football, man. David Montgomery, I liked him coming out of college. He just doesn't seem like the explosive guy that I thought he can be in terms of his progression. And then the offensive line, there's a lot of injuries there. I'm gonna go with the Titans here. I think it's easier than it first looked.
I mean, what'd you call him, MJ? Can't make him miss Montgomery or something? I can't remember what you
Yeah.
called him.
Yeah.
Did I?
You
I'm
said
taking the
something.
under though.
Okay.
I don't know what I called him. But I'm taking this under. Points gonna be hard to come by on this one.
Yeah.
Anything on the fantasy?
On the fantasy, I'm not touching any of these dudes, to be honest with you.
It's
Just
hard.
the kicker. I will take Tennessee's kicker.
Yeah.
I'll take the kicker in a
I agree.
heartbeat.
Yeah. Because he might get you 15 points today.
I mean,
Here's a crazy stat. I think the Bears give up the most like field goal attempts like per team. Like they're at least top 5.
Well, that's bend but don't break. Yeah, bend but don't break.
Yeah. So I mean, I think Derrick Henry is obvious still a play. He's one of those guys you don't bench anyway.
Right.
Because I mean, I still think there's 2 touchdowns there when it comes to Derrick Henry. So.
Sure. We'll see. It's gonna be fun to watch. Certainly, the run offense of the Titans versus the run defense of the Bears with Roquan Smith, who's been spectacular. Jeremy, we got one more game to get to because you picked Tennessee, right? Real quick, we missed this one. So rapid fire around the horn, real quick. Detroit versus Minnesota. Look, Matt Stafford is not the problem, but Matt Stafford is not the solution. Give me the Minnesota Vikings. Vic?
I'm going to go with the Vikings, too.
Germ?
It's simple.
Really, really simple. Vikings.
Yes.
Run
All
the
right.
game.
Dalvin
Game,
Cook, baby.
game.
Cook on them. All right. Main event. We, the people, have been waiting for this game for 2 months, for 8 weeks, for 56 days. We've been waiting for this game tonight. You got the New Orleans Saints with Mike Thomas back, with Emmanuel Sanders back, versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and business is booming. Germ,
Cigar and whiskey special.
Listen, sit back and just watch good football tonight from 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, great receivers. This game, just beautiful.
Yeah.
Jump
I had
into
to
it,
get grown
Jeremy.
man on him with that. This is a grown man game.
Yes.
Right
So,
Yes.
number one, let's start with the obvious. Why is business booming? Because Sweet Feet is back in the league, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. 7-Eleven, the creator of the 7-Eleven Club, is playing some football again here in 2020. It is going to be a tragic end to 2020 for defenses because business is booming.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, let's start at the top. Offensively, my 2 keys for my 1 key for Tampa Bay, my 1 key for the Saints. I'm gonna start with the Saints. What happens with the Saints is it's really simple. They do a lot of things short. It's a lot of quick routes. It's a lot of things to Kamara. It's a lot of slants and drags and those type of things. And that's just what they do. That's what the offense is predicated around because Drew Brees has a hard time seeing over, those big guys in front of him. The fat guys that he just can't see over them. Now, with that being said, that's the 1 key. Can Drew Brees complete some of those big plays that he completed in week 1? I don't think so. But we're going to see. This is why we play the game. Then we got my key for Tampa Bay on offense. Listen, just stay on schedule. Just stay on schedule.
Yeah.
3rd and 5s.
Say that. That's
3rd and 5s are the simplest thing in the world for you to be able to convert.
Yeah.
You don't have to work. You don't have to say a word because you got a sweet foot guy out there who can't nobody check. When I say can't nobody check, baggage claims ain't never had a chance to even get a hand on him. At the end of the day, he's like he gets through the rain without being wet. It's just is what it is. He gets through the scrum without having any what. He's clean. Just know he's clean.
Yeah, he is. Hey, he's always open. You never got to get a call tag when you're throwing him the football.
Defensively, secondary. Antoine Winfield, I need you to react a little bit better on some of these deep routes. He has a tendency sometimes to get caught underneath, especially on some of these routes that develop later and coming across or behind him. He has a way of not getting the proper depth. Antoine, you've been playing very good football. I need you to get better depth. And then on the back end, Malcolm Jenkins. I just got one question. I know you think you still good. I know you think you're still good. But do you think you're good enough to play in this game? Because I'm gonna tell you the answer is no, you're not.
Go find
I
out.
don't want to see you. I don't want to see you out there trying to cover Gronkowski today. Because that ain't a good look for you. Gronkowski is starting to look like Gronkowski again, and you starting to look like Malcolm Jenkins.
Yeah.
We're gonna drop your M because your fadeaway was never perfect.
Ooh. Ooh.
Never perfect. Damn.
Ooh.
It's not used to be perfect.
No, it was never
seriously.
perfect. It was never perfect.
I don't know
It
about
was
that.
good,
I
but
don't know about that. I
it
don't
was
know about
never
that.
perfect.
It
It
was
was
never
never
disagree with
fadeaway.
you.
It was a turnaround.
Exact. Thank you.
Maybe. There you go.
Because he just squared his shoulders. I mean, that's all he did.
Vic, jump in this.
Yeah, I mean, this seems to be a fairly healthy game, except that you got Ali Marpet, the guard for the Bucks, is out with a concussion. Chris Godwin is still questionable with his finger. And then all of a sudden, the Saints have Michael Thomas available. We don't know what the issue is necessarily there. Was it injury? Was it team related? What it was? But all of a sudden, he's available. They got Sanders, Emmanuel Sanders, number 2, 7'11", is available. So this should be a tough matchup. This is a different Bucks team from that Week 1 game. They should give them a big fight, especially that defense that is very impressive. So I'm gonna go with the Bucks in a very, very tight game. I think it's gonna be. I'm gonna put a score for this one. I'm gonna go 37-34 in this game.
Bucks.
Bucks, yes.
Jerm, did you make a pick?
No, I was gonna make a pick after everybody gave
Okay.
the analysis.
You got it. So, okay, let's just let me adjust my seat because there's a few things I want to make sure we get across my chest for this game. Number one, all right. This is a game where we're gonna find out if the Steve McClendon trade worked out in any way or shape or form to replace Vita Vea. Second thing, just to stick to the Bucks defense, the one advantage they have defensively in this one is they don't have to sell out on those flats. They don't have to sell out on those choice routes. They don't have to sell out to cover in Alvin Kamara behind the line of scrimmage because they got two linebackers who can just chase you down and tackle him. That is a huge advantage when it comes to slowing down this Saints offense, because what usually ends up happening in one variation or another, who's ever guarding Kamara, he sells out to make sure he doesn't do anything, and that's going to open up those hook routes. That's why Michael Thomas is allegedly called slant boy, because those things start to open up because guys are selling out to block those simple things because as Big Shot alluded to, Drew Brees will have 23 completions and 219 yards. That's just because these teams are just finding different ways to over compromise how to stop this very, very dynamic Saints offense when they're at full go. When they're not at full go, it's beyond ding and dunk. But when they're at full go, that there's certain explosiveness that come back into play for this team. Let's flip it now to the Bucks, right? As Jerm talked about with those sticks, discipline. That is the most crucial key in this game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Another crucial key, where is Marshawn Lattimore going to be? Is he going to travel? Is he going to be solely on Mike Evans? Will they try him in Antonio Brown? We know they're not going to put him on Godwin, but what if they do put him on Godwin? To me, if he's on Antonio Brown, I'm going to Antonio Brown 9 times out of 10 because Lattimore, he's good, but he's also one of those streaky corners. And we've seen him have tough time handling guys who are real shifty, guys who are precise route runners, and guys who can go boom, boom, boom. I'm going this way. So that's another key matchup in this one for this game. Let's talk about the quarterbacks, though. We know Drew Brees is declining. That he just is. We will see how he performs tonight in what could be a windy game in Tampa Bay. We know how Florida can get in the fall and in wintertime. It can get very windy down in Florida. So we will see how that goes for Drew. For Tom, this is going to be a whole different Brady from week 1, a whole different Brady. He's more comfortable. He's got more of an understanding of his offense. He's going to be able to identify what New Orleans is bluffing and when New Orleans is actually going to blitz. He's going to be able to move certain guys, and that HB receiver or the running back who can catch whether it's going to be Leonard Fournette or Vaughn, so they can move Davis, so they can move Malcolm Jenkins. That's going to be in a big game, a big key in this one. The biggest thing of all, though, he's going to have more trust. And that is the most important thing for Tom Brady. Trust. Can I trust my tackles? Can I trust my interior? Can I trust my receivers? Once he starts to build trust, it just becomes different. And lastly, just because we slowly changing everybody's narratives, do not come to this bullshit. Yes, I said bullshit. I said it in that fashion. Do not come with this bullshit that the Buccaneers are now running the Patriots EMP offense. All right, don't come with that. What they're doing is implementing certain things that were staple plays for the Patriots, and that were staple plays, especially for who? Rob Gronkowski. No, Rob Gronkowski, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about Rob Gronkowski right now, okay? Because the one thing we need to understand, the best offenses, the best quarterbacks, the offenses are built around the strengths of the perimeter players, around the strengths of the pass catchers, not around the strengths of the quarterbacks. If you're building around the strengths of the quarterback, that means you got a mid-tier or lower quarterback. If you are building an offense against this on the strength of your playmakers, that means you can trust your quarterback to execute whatever game plan that needs to be executed on any given Sunday. And that's the difference between the elite and the legendary. And it's that simple. Give me the Buccaneers to win this game because business is absolutely booming in Tampa. I want a high score. It's Sunday night. This might be the best Sunday. I'm hoping this game lives up to the hype the same way Baltimore and Pittsburgh did last week. Give me the Buccaneers, Chiefs. I'll go 38-34 just because I want to see points. What you got, Germ?
Just give me the Buccaneers with a score of 35-20. I don't think the Saints are going to be able to score more than 20, 21 points.
Damn.
I don't see it.
Damn. MJ, anything you want to add to this?
This will be the game I'm going to La Corettas. This is the nightcap of the good food. I got Mike Evans playing. I got Rob Gronkowski playing. I think you guys should play him as well. I wouldn't play AB for this first week only to see him get a feel for the offense. But just understand, if you got him right now, that is a great investment for week 13, which is around the playoff starting, because they're going to get him the ball early and often around that time to get him a rhythm and establish.
That about wraps up this show. Great show, fellas. We appreciate everybody in the comments. Josh Storm saying Tom Brady's going to have 350 and 3 tubs. Trav shouting out Devin White. Absolutely. Yes, they are all playing. Victor Mino saying boo Brady. And he's keeping it PG. I appreciate you, Victor Mino. Again, shout out to everybody in the comments. We appreciate y'all dearly. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you are subscribed. You need to be subscribed by now. We will see y'all tomorrow night. 94 Feet of Life is coming at y'all with another extraordinary special. If you have missed the first two, you missing out on the purest, greatest form of hoop talk. This Stoppage Time FC coming with a show, and eventually we'll get back Petty in the outfield on there to do something. Fight threads, between the rounds we'll do something. Just subscribe, man. You never know when we go live. Just subscribe. If you haven't yet, I ain't got nothing to say to you. What more can we say?
If you haven't, then buy in.
2-2.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the game.